All right, well, I do want to move on to the Denver Nuggets as well, since over the weekend they did lose in the Western Conference Finals. Doesn't take away, right, from what a great run they had here in the bubble. They became the only team ever to come down from 3-1 deficits in a series twice in a single postseason. Jamal Murray just elevated his game to new heights. And if you take a look at the West standings from this season, at minimum, these will be the teams that the Nuggets have to worry about next year, right? So look at who's above them. Lakers still going to be a threat. Clippers still be a threat, right? And the Warriors are going to get Steph Curry and Klay Thompson back healthy. So they also have the number 2 pick in the draft. Richard, how much stock are you buying in the Nuggets for next season?
Well, I'm buying a ton of stock, especially when, the Nuggets with that number 2 pick in the draft, like they have the option to go get a very, very good big in Wiseman. I'm just saying, when you look at what the Nuggets are playing, how the Nuggets are playing and what they need to do to kind of keep in this momentum, they just need to continue to develop talent. They need to develop, Jokic, Jamal Murray, and these guys are going to have to prove. It is one thing to go and win here in the bubble, quote unquote, on a Game 7 on the road. Now you got to go do that when there's, 25,000 people screaming at you and you're forced to travel. So I think they were one of the teams that really benefited from the no home court advantage. And so I don't think they need to change anything. They're getting better every single year. Last year, 2 years ago, they didn't make the postseason. Last year, they were 1 game away from the conference finals. And here, they were actually able to win a game in the conference finals. So if you're looking at the transition and the growth of their team, they have all the pieces to continue, down this road.
Yeah, Rachel, I'm bullish on the Nuggets. And Richard, you mentioned playing against opposing fans. The little I know of Jamal Murray, that is not going to phase him one bit. He's the kind of guy that really thrives off of that. I don't think we've seen anywhere near the ceiling of Jamal Murray. I don't think we've seen the ceiling of Jokic. And I know we haven't seen the ceiling of Michael Porter Jr., who you can see all the potential there. He's got some defense to work on, don't all young players. But what I love about the Nuggets is they've got to sign Jeremy Grant, that's for sure.
Yes.
But beyond that, they've got a bunch of homegrown guys that have been together for a long time that believe in each other. They got a great coach in MacMullan. They obviously respond to him. I'm not counting the Nuggets out next year. Do it at your own peril.
Well, and one thing that I will also say is you look at what Pat Riley did, and he went out and got veterans that have been through this fight. You go and get Jay Crowder. You go and get Andre Iguodala, and look at the first half that Andre Iguodala had. Look at the game that he had in the most important game of the year. Because if you get to Game 7, now the pressure flips to Miami. The most important game for the Miami Heat, Andre Iguodala comes up big. Yes, you need to sign Jeremy Grant if you're the Denver Nuggets. I don't know what they're going to do with Paul Millsap, but they need to find 1 or 2 more veterans that can kind of mix in with those young players. Give them a calm, give them some guidance, and maybe even show up in a moment that you wouldn't expect them because they've been there before.
We will see. It's going to be such a good chess match. I love after we had 5 years where the NBA seemed like we knew what the ending was going to be. Now, it wasn't always exactly what we thought, but we had a good feeling of, hey, the Warriors are this mighty super team. I feel like now we're entering into this great period. Nobody, I think, would have expected I wouldn't say nobody. Jimmy Butler expected the Miami Heat to be in the finals, but it certainly wasn't predicted. And you've got now in the West, we're talking about next year, you've got the Nuggets, Lakers, Clippers,
It's going to be the Lakers and LeBron James for the 97,000th time.
In the East, you've got the Bucks, you've got the Nets making their entrance to the party when Kyrie and KD are back. You've got so many different things going on in this league right now. I think it is so much fun. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.